You know how stressful it is when guidance systems go down. You lose field time. You lose yield potential. You lose patience. Help is here. Raven Cruiser 2 RTK with Slingshot. Precision simplified. Learn more at ravensimple.com.
Brian, this weed of the week used to be our biggest nemesis on the farm. It's common milkweed.
Yeah, when Darren and I were growing up and we had to go walk soybeans, so we were walking, pulling weeds. I mean, that was fun and all. You know, I was getting a nice tan and everything. Okay. But I hated milkweeds because you'd pull them off and a week later, they'd come right back.
Well, milkweed is a perennial weed, and that's one of the toughest things about it. It has rhizomes that run underneath the ground and pop up new plants. And really, we thought we had the answer. When we started squirting Roundup in our bean bar and we're riding through the field, we'd squirt Roundup on it. But guess what happens? When you squirt Roundup on a milkweed, it sprays all over, and you kill a circle about a 3-foot diameter around each milkweed.
You had to spray very accurately. But here's the other problem that we had. Our dad was, well, let's just say it, Darren, he was kind of chintzy.
He was a little tight.
He didn't want to spend a lot of money, so he had to mix the Roundup. You know, we could barely put any Roundup in with the water, so we'd mix 40 parts water to 1 part Roundup, and that just didn't quite kill the milkweeds. And the reason why is milkweed has a waxy leaf. So if you're going to have plants that have waxy leaves, you start putting a lot of water on, where's the water go? Well, it runs off, and so does your chemical. So what you have to do is go with a more concentrated droplet. So what we're trying to tell you is with milkweed, run less water volume and higher rates of Roundup, and you should do a nice job.
Well, Roundup certainly has been an answer for solving milkweed problems. We hardly see them out in our fields anymore. Now where we see them, Brian, is along the roadsides and grassy areas, pastures, ditches, that kind of thing.
Well, it's the same kind of deal there. A lot of guys are running higher water and just a little bit of 2,4-D. They just need to up that 2,4-D, lower the water rate a little bit, and then they'll get better control. 2,4-D is not bad. Banvel is not bad. You can certainly use those types of products in the non-crop areas.
All right, so let's talk about in-crop. In corn, it's not too tough. Now, I would say this. If you're doing tillage, you're chopping up that root system, and you're probably going to see more plants popping up. So it would be best if you had a little patch of milkweed, lift up your tillage tool and go over it. Don't till that up. Then you can hit it hard. Now, if you're using Roundup, great, but in conventional corn, Status does a pretty nice job, probably the best of the corn products.
Yep, when you get to soybeans, it gets really tough. Not much other than Roundup is going to do it for you. In wheat, well, what do you think in wheat? I mean, Husky's probably okay. I can't really think of anything.
Yeah, we don't have real big
issues
with it. Unless you
want to use 2,4-D, and we don't really like that.
We don't have super big issues with it in wheat, and you can hit it with your burn down too and use some Roundup in that application.
Yeah, well, once again, our weed of the week is milkweed. It's got a waxy leaf, so use lower water volumes and higher herbicide rates to get it under control.
That's all the time we have for this week's weed, but Iron Talk is coming up next.